The easy and best way to install a floating floor is to call a professional and have them do it. Now I get it, if you don't want to hire a professional, then you can follow these several one-step processes for getting this flooring put in yourself. So anytime that you do one of these projects yourself, it's always worth it to take a look at the directions. So I'm not going to do that. Step number one is sanding the floor. I've got some joints where the tongue and groove subfloor went in that are not, they've lifted over time. What happened is before we got the roof completely on, we had a rain shower. It's starting to swell at the joints. So what I'm doing is taking a belt sander and I'm going around and just knocking down the high spots wherever I can find them. This was one of the worst ones. It's still not completely gone, and that's okay, I guess. I'm gonna put the floor in anyway and just see how it goes. So anywhere I can feel it under my feet, I'm kind of just hitting it with a little bit of sandpaper and the belt sander, and then we'll see. We're gonna see how it turns out. Step one for doing the flooring actually is to make sure your flooring's kind of to temperature. I did get some advice from a couple that put a floor in up here that they had kept theirs outside and a lot of it had cracked. So one thing I did was built a fire in here last couple of days. Just have been keeping the shed up to some normal temperature just so it doesn't get freezing cold in here. And so I shouldn't have any problems with them breaking unless it's due to my own negligence at this point. Next step was, after we sanded, I went ahead and I swept everything up. I vacuumed up the mess, and now the underlayment's ready to go down. We'll see how this goes. Whee! Step number one is to cut these notches out in here and here. So you're gonna have to do that anywhere you have an obstacle in your way. So step number one is I'm gonna install these spacers in here, and then I'm gonna get my distance and just mark it on my board like this. Then I'll mark this one, then I'll mark, once I take this and butt it up against this wall, I'll mark this one over here, connect the dots, and then I'll cut it out with a jigsaw. Make sure that you cut the wrong side for the first one. That way you etch it in your mind which side not to cut the next time. That first row is looking pretty darn sweet to me. Well, it's tough to get started going with it, but once it starts to fall in place, it just kind of goes together. So I just keep working on it till I get it done. I'm gonna have a transition piece here, which you can kind of see there. So that'll cover up that weird edge, as long as I can manage to make my cuts right. I got really close on one of those there. I don't have a lot of coverage, but I think it'll still work. And for everything else, a friend of mine taught me to just caulk it. What do you mean, what am I doing?
Your hard work. Good, you've done a great job.
Day 2, flooring install. Now we have to move everything from one side of the room to the other so that we can finish it. That stuff's gotta come over here.
Can we grab that?
Okay, let's see if it fits.
Dance floor.
Don't do it.
Huh?
Don't do it. He did it.
Dance floor, baby.
The floor, she
All right,
done.
let me film you. It's your turn to dance.
No, I'm good.
Looks good.
It does. It's really good. You did a great job, babe. Yes, sir. It's coming right along.
All right, sweet. But we're wrapped up with this flooring project. It's all in and it looks good. Just got to go around and put some baseboards in. And after that, we'll be done. Thanks for watching. God bless.